What is up, everybody? Back for the first time in a while here. I've got a new haircut even. Got the old mullet for the first time. My hair was getting, really long, really thick and annoying. I work outside, and it's getting to the summer and it's hot as shit, so, had to keep it cool and whatnot. And my hair was getting in my face while I was trying to eat and all that, and it was just annoying, so I cut it down. But first video in a while. I've been slacking a little bit, busy at work, just tired, not really feeling like the videos, but I got my 10 favorite bands starting with the letter E here. I'll try to start doing videos more consistently if I can, but top 10 bands starting with E. First one up at number 10 for me is Invaders. Really cool band from Belgium. They have a retro sound. They're one of those more modern bands that is going for that classic sound. They do it pretty well. Formed in 2007, I believe. First album came out in 2015, Pulses of Pleasure. Cool stuff. Feed Me Violence is really good. And their most recent, Shattering Reflection, is really cool as well. Blend of speed metal and some, classic traditional metal elements there as well. Good production on their stuff. Big sound. Cool band. So check them out, if you like 80s metal. Number 9, I got Entombed, really cool Swedish death metal band. They've got some, all-time classic albums, Left Hand Path, especially from 1990, that debut. Clandestine, really great album as well. Wolverine Blues, they started kind of shifting their sound to mixing in some other stuff, some death and roll and whatnot. But those first 3 are my favorites. They've got some other cool stuff mixed in, but especially that debut album is just an absolute all-time classic death metal album. One of my favorites in death metal for sure. At number 8, I've got Evil Feast, really cool Polish. It's a one-man band. This guy goes by the name Grim Spirit is his stage name. It's kind of, atmospheric black metal, some really melodic stuff, very long, epic songs. There's several really, really awesome albums. They're from Poland, or he's from Poland. But, Winter Moon Enchantment's really fantastic. Looking at these, Mysteries of the Nocturnal Forest, Funeral Sorcery, a couple other favorites. Those 3 are really great albums. The other stuff is really cool as well, but those are just some standouts for me. Number 7, I've got Europe. So Europe, they started off kind of like basically a Swedish. They're Swedish. Their sound could be compared to kind of like a new wave of British heavy metal sound. You could compare it to some of the other Swedish metal bands coming up at the time over there. Heavy Load, 220 Volt. Those first 2 albums from Europe are pretty much along those same lines. Just good classic traditional metal. John Norum on guitar is absolutely fantastic. Even the vocals are fantastic too, as well, from Joey Tempest. But, with the 3rd album, Final Countdown, I enjoy it, but they started shifting more into a glam metal sound, which some people don't really love, and then they kept going more into that, which there is some pretty good stuff. But those first 3 albums are really good, and then, some of the more recent stuff's even heavier, which is pretty cool to hear. Number 6, I got Emperor, amazing classic black metal band from Norway, and of course, In the Night Side Eclipse, a fantastic album. Anthems to the Welcome at Dusk, another great classic album, 94 and 97. The great blend of the symphonic stuff, which was very, instrumental and groundbreaking, as well as just some very melodic, mesmerizing, long, epic songs. And I did see Emperor at Psycho Las Vegas last year, which was really cool to see. Great bucket list band to cross off. Isan, great musician fronting the band. All 4 of their albums I enjoy, but those first 2 are amazing. Number 5, I got Eidolon, which is a Canadian band. It's the Drover brothers, Sean and Glenn. Sean on the drums, Glenn on guitar. Great musicians. I think Eidolon is a really cool band. Nightmare World, especially from the year 2000. Great album. A couple others of theirs that are really good. Hallowed Apparition and Culmination, really 2000, 2001, and 2002 there. A couple other cool albums from them, but, it's a good blend of like thrash and speed metal with some power metal. Big heavy riffs, catchy songs. So definitely check them out if you like Megadeth. Check them out because, Sean, I talked to him recently, and, he said in an interview, if y'all want to check that out, that was my last video I did actually, but he said that band was very instrumental in getting them into Megadeth. So basically, whoever played it for Dave, and Dave liked the sound and got him into the band pretty much. But cool band at number 5. Number 4, I got Enforced, really great modern thrash from the United States. I'm not sure what state exactly, maybe like Virginia or something they're from, but if you like Power Trip and you don't know Enforced, definitely check them out. They're kind of that style, very heavy, aggressive thrash, some hardcore elements in there as well. But their most recent album, War Remains, is amazing. The song At the end, Empire to close it out, it's just freaking brutal and heavy, as much of the album is, but fantastic stuff. And really, each of their 3 albums, they've progressively gotten better. At the Walls is cool, then Kill Grid, it was one of my top 10 albums of the year a couple years back, and now this one, War Remains, is definitely going to be up there. Just really great band, and I did see them too at Maryland Death Fest last year, and they killed it. It was an early set in the day, but they had the crowd going, really energetic, heavy, awesome band live, and their studio material is fantastic as well. Number 3, Enforcer. So Enforced, number 4. Number 3, Enforcer. Great Swedish metal band here. Got a great classic sound. They're one of the leaders of the new wave of traditional heavy metal. You know, most of their stuff's fantastic. I think they went on a really great 3-album run with Diamonds, Death by Fire, and From Beyond. Just absolutely amazing albums there. The ones that came before it, or the one that came before it, and the ones that have come after it are good as well, but those 3 easily are their best for me. Olaf Wickstrand, great musician to, you know, front the band there on vocals and guitar. But, yeah, great band. I've seen them as well a couple years back. You know, they didn't really get the crowd they deserved, I felt like. It was in Atlanta, and it was a smaller crowd than it should have been, but it was cool to see them live. They really brought it, even though there was only like 30 people there or whatever it was, but they played like there was a couple thousand, which was cool to see. Number 2 and number 1, it's really close. They could flip depending on the day, but for now I'm going to put Exciter at number 2. Fantastic band, great classic speed metal from Canada. They got a lot of cool stuff. All the albums from the 80s I really dig. Heavy Metal Maniac from 1983. Some people debate if that's the first thrash metal album. Really great classic stuff. Violence and Force. You know, Long Live the Loud's probably my favorite. I Am the Beast is my favorite song by them for sure. And Unveiling the Wicked I think is really cool as well from 1986. They got other good stuff as well, but those first 4 I do like the best. Dan Beehler, I think, you know, always had a really cool, unique voice, hitting some high screams that are very cool. And to play the drums and do vocals at the same time is extremely impressive to me. But, yeah, I've seen them twice, both at Hell's Heroes, and, you know, great band, great live, fun time to see them. And my number 1, you might have seen this coming, but Exodus, great classic thrash, Bay Area. Most of their albums are fantastic, very heavy, brutal, classic stuff. Gary Holt on guitar is fantastic. Rick Hunolt with him back in the day was a great duo. And, you know, more recent albums, they've had Lee Altus, who is a great, really technical player who is, you know, known from being in Heathen back in the day, which is a great technical thrash band. But the vocals, really great raspy stuff, whether it was Bailoff, Zetro, or Rob Dukes. But I love all those guys, and I love the band. They got a lot of great stuff. The classic era, you know, Bonded by Blood and Fabulous Disaster are my favorites. And then from the more recent times, I would go with Shovelhead Kill Machine and Exhibit B as being my favorite more modern albums from them. But, you know, all the stuff for the most part is really good. Classic, awesome thrash, and that is my number 1. Couple honorable mentions I'll run through real quick. Eldamar, which is a kind of atmospheric black metal band, which is cool. Ex-Hoarder, Evil Dead, and Every Mother's Nightmare, which is on the border of hard rock and like glam metal, but thought I'd throw them in here anyways. But those were my 10 favorite bands starting with the letter E. Couple honorable mentions. As usual, I like to know what you guys thought about the video. You know what you think about my picks. Give me your picks in the comments. Your 10 favorite bands starting with the letter E. And as usual, you guys, thanks for watching. Until next time.